stop me from thinking, They do, but they also start to look like you, or they start to look like Emma, and then you obviously, because you the way you are, you know what I mean, and you say like, all right, duck, and all of that sort of things, you're going to have a little person running about that basically is mimicking you. So they're not going to be, like, they'll be northern, but they'll have your southern twang, regardless, because you've got it. And obviously your mum and dad and your brother. So they're gonna pick up the little southern twangs, and you're gonna be like, that's mint, that's class. And they're gonna do crazy shit and funny things all the time. Because that's just what kids do. And it's so fascinating to watch them see the world for the first time, or see things through their eyes for the first time. Like, the first time I sat Caitlin down and give her a control pad, and she was like, banging it off the floor, and I was like, no, that's not how it works. And then I've progressively watched her learn the pad and mechanics in games, and just now she's at the point where she's like, I understand that means this, and this does that, and now because this happens, I know that happens. And it's going to be the same, like when you've got a kid, you'll introduce them to stuff like classic cinema and stuff like that, and they'll have a deeper appreciation for modern cinema because you're so into more classic cinema. Like, let's face it, if I told Caitlin, oh, there's a new Kurt Russell film coming out, she'd look at me and go, who? But if I told Caitlin there's a new rock film coming out, she'd be like, we need to watch that. But your kid, not going to be doing that. Your kid's going to be like, there's a new Kurt Russell film coming out? Fantastic. Cannot wait. I absolutely loved this, and this. And they may also appreciate the new rock film coming out. That's what I'm saying. They become little versions of you. It's great.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need
There's nothing wrong with that.
spots.
Honestly, right,
Goop says Gizmo
Caitlin
the cannon for the goo glide
is exactly 1 month older than Mick's youngest daughter.
Puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position.
And
The best way to find
depending on which side of the coin you come at it from,
of the surf-archipelago and knows where the quacks like
like,
to float.
Caitlin is very much more
You'll have the privilege
of our age
in the sinking
and very much more
directions to where you'll find quacks.
girly. Mick's daughter is 10 years ahead of her time. She's not 11, she thinks she's 21. And she's not girly. She isn't a girly girl. Yet, what she's into anime, she's into like all of this sort of stuff, like movies and stuff like that, like Mick. Where Caitlin is more into video games and just chilling out and having a good time with video games. They've become part of you. Like Mick's eldest, Millie, is so Mick that it hurts. For good or bad, she is literally her dad. She looks like Mick, she acts like Mick, she's into all of the same stuff as Mick. If you go on the React channel, every single one of the Rammstein videos, she's in there and she's translated them all. Word for word, the entire song. They just become basically mini versions of the pair of you.
He only knows what's visible,
And that's good and bad,
Gulp is not much of a
depending on
battler and mostly
both
keeps
the parents. Like I say,
and
Mick's
his drink.
ex is interesting. My ex, interesting. But you're alright. Because Emma's level-headed and all good. So, you know, You starting from a much better place. Oh, we have a boat of some description now. That fires. No, I think you'll make good parents, I really do.
The air is thick with wet stuff.
And I actually think that once you're in it, and you're of, you know, the bends here and everything, sort, because the scary part is like, oh god, we need prams, we need pushchairs, we need this, we need that. And it's not as bad as you think. Like, you don't need £1,000 pushchair.
Welcome to the Surf Archipelago.
No, mate. Like I say, you've always been that way, though, haven't you? You've always been the guy that... Is that lantern guy again? It is. Let's go and get another boost. Pull this in over here.
Leave it behind.
You always put yourself down, and I've never understood why, mate. You've got good crack. You're funny. There's not wrong with being, there's not wrong with being quiet.
Sometimes what you'll see doesn't...
I'm quiet.
Until it brings you
I
back.
don't leave the house, mate, if I can at all help it.
Stepping into a time machine.
There's not wrong with that. Like, sitting watching movies, you know, you're hurting nobody. As long as you're happy. Which, obviously, you and Emma seem very happy. But as long as you're happy and you're doing your thing, who gives a shit? You're hurting nobody. You've just got your own little corner of the world and doing your little thing.
It's hard to shake.
And that's exactly how I look at my life.
And their accompanying feelings. Our brains play tricks on us, so it will take effort to avoid them.
But yes, I think you'd make good parents. Because you've got a very interesting dry humour that
However, there's
coming from a child, a small
makes your future
1, 2-year-old, 3-year-old child would be absolutely hilarious, and that's exactly what would happen. They would just repeat and we'll try health and well, yeah, but I'm sat here streaming a game while the sun's blazing outside. So, you know, you're doing actual household chores that need to be done. I have nothing to do but sit and play on a computer game. I could be out doing... I mean, don't get us wrong. I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but I got sunstroke yesterday. I burnt my head cutting the grass. Mate, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing is, right, it's generational. It is, it's generational. Because my next door neighbour Jack is 29. So what? 5 years younger than me? 6 years younger than me, something like that. Coming up 6 years younger than me. And he just lets his house go to rack and ruin. Doesn't care. I mean, if I could be asked, I could get the camera and show you his front garden. His grass is probably his hip height in his front garden and his back garden. Doesn't give a shit. And he's having himself a drink, doing what he needs to do, partying on, blasts music. I mean, we've got a mutual understanding that he doesn't blast music when I've got the band, but outside of me having the band, I couldn't give a shit because I wear headphones when I go to bed, so go to town, lad. There's nothing wrong with him living his life like that. Me, on the other hand... I am the most prim, proper person you'll possibly ever meet. Like, my living room is hoovered and dusted every day. The washing's done. Tongue on the line. I did that before I started streaming, so that I didn't have to interrupt the stream. It's just our generation. I think our generation is more house proud. If you want to call it that.
How to activate the automaton's health. That will be useful.
But that's not 100% accurate. Because Richard, who was in the chat before, it's my cousin. Two, I do when it's two people in a stream. That's the other guy. And both he and I, like peas in a pod. We're both pretty much the same person.
It's darkest. The dawn.
He's house proud and likes to keep check and keep everything right and all the rest of it. So, and he's only 28. I think he's 28.
You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village.
So, it just is what it is. Hello, and welcome to whoever's joined on Twitch.
This here is the
Jump into the comments and let's have a chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'll make a good dad, mate. I really do. Like I say, I've known you a long time now. And you're a little bit like me, I think. You're probably more outgoing than me, actually.
He's pretty sure he's
I think you'll have fun.
before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have some... Guesses he does, but it's a long life in a wild world. Sometimes he's shaken, not stirred. You look like you've got a
Telling you.
powerful thirst to do something.
I mean, you're not going to get much of a choice, like you said. It's going to happen.
Sure, but it's
So you're either getting on board, or
your destiny.
you're out, shit out of luck.
Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to.
I think that's the only issue I've got with the way I live my life at the minute. Is
an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsty.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, right? There's no right or wrong way to do things. There's just your way.
Amazing, and sometimes it's off.
There's been so many times where I've gotten frustrated at something I'm doing or something else and then took it out on the Ben. Like this weekend, I went and cut the grass. I got sunstroke because I was the tit that didn't put any fucking SPF on or wear a hat. And then when I come in and I felt like shit, and the Ben was literally just watching a tablet with her headphones on, and I decided I wanted a drink, so I was like, hey, go and get me a drink. She got me a drink, she came in, she like, put the drink down, but like, knocked the glass a little bit when she put it down and she filled it to the rim. So a tiny little bit spilt on the corner of the sofa. I went ballistic. And 5 minutes later I realised like I might have just gone a little bit overboard there. I should have gotten my own drink. So then I apologised to her. She's like, don't worry, it's fine, Dad. It's all good. Like, it's unconditional. Everything from her to me is unconditional. There is no prerequisites or anything for her just being like, nah, it's me dad. And that makes it very different than, say, me sister having a kid. Got no problems with my sister's kids, none at all. They're lovely kids. But I don't sit here and think about them or wish I could go and take them to the park or do this or do that. But yeah, I do think that way when it comes to Caitlin. Like, she messages us every day and we have like, we are like best mates, and I'm her dad. And sometimes being best mates with her doesn't necessarily work out well because she treats me like just one of our friends sometimes, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what do you think you're doing? No. I am still dad. Like, what I say goes. If I'm telling you this is how it goes down, this is how it goes down.
Now, aged in truck tankers and all.
But then we have the mutual respect. It's just, I don't know, it's just, it's not something that I ever wanted.
Much less think.
And then it happened, and I can't imagine life without it. I really can't. It's like driving, mate. I never ever wanted to learn to drive. As a matter of fact, I was always scared to get behind the wheel of a car in case I ran somebody over or accidentally crashed into another car or did something to cause big problems. So I was always afraid, like genuinely, like afraid to drive. But then after I'd had Caitlin, they live miles away. They live the other side of Durham. And it was like I was traipsing a 1.5-year-old through the snow on a bus to the bus station, then from the bus station all the way back to here in the dankest, coldest nights. And I was like, I'm not putting...
Watching Pippi slap his car,
I was like, I'm not putting the band through it. I need to get over this fear of driving. And I can't imagine now that I've passed my test, and I passed first time, and I passed me theory and everything first time, did it all first time. And I cannot imagine. I genuinely cannot imagine not driving. Like, the thought of not being able to drive is like, what was I playing at? Like... And it's the same with the burn. Like, I cannot imagine my life without the burn, now that she's here and I've got her. But before I had her, I was like, no, I'm not asked about having kids. I'm not asked about this. It's like, because I live my life being not bothered at all about having a girlfriend or a partner of any description.
It means
I don't care.
Expert of all living things.
It's not something that's ever bothered us. I like my life the way it is. My house is always tidy. And when it's not tidy, it's my fault. No one else's fault. Yeah, you know, but regardless of automatic or manual, the fear was never changing gears. The fear is always like, I am in control of a device here that
this won't be a
can physically kill people. Like, it is pure death. I mean, you're essentially strapping yourself into a bomb. It's fuel and fire. And then driving it at insane speeds. So the fear was never whether or not I was changing gear or in an automatic. The fear was always like, I could potentially end someone's existence with a wrong move. It's exactly what it is. But... Oh, we need to go over there, do we? But it's also now something that I just get in and don't even think about. Is this game taking the piss? Because that water looks as calm as the fucking water I'm in. Alright, it's the game's way of stopping me from going somewhere and having to... Right. Motherfuckers. Right. I'll do this the other way. Can I get to here? Yes, I can. But yeah, that's the, you've got to think of it that way. Like, you're not afraid to drive now. You've passed your test. And I guarantee you'll feel the same way. Like, you couldn't imagine your life without a car. Like, having a car's made your life so much better. It's the same thing with a kid. Like, all of the stresses and all of the worries are there, and they'll always be there, mate. They don't go away. You still think, oh, fucking hell, I've got to pay for school uniforms. I've got to pay for, like, an extra mouth to feed. I've got this, I've got that. But the good shit far outweighs the bad shit. All of the time, every time, without fucking fail. And you won't be able to imagine life without having your kid around when you've got one. Because it just is. It's just one of those things that is just, again, it just is. Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. I'm all right now, to be honest. I mean, I can't remember how old I was when I passed. What was I've been driving nearly 10 years now, I think. It's like the Ben. I was telling the Ben at the weekend, because she's turning 11. I was like, you've got 2, maybe 3 more years to go. And then you're learning to drive. She's like, what? I was like, as soon as you turn 13, 14, you're going behind the wheel of the car. End of story. I'll take us to an abandoned car park, whatever. And I'm learning you to drive. Because the moment you turn 16, you're passing your test. And you're having a car. And obviously, your independence. I'm not allowing you to do what I did. I'm not allowing you to waste all of that extra time not having a car. Because it'll change your life. Having a car will change your life. You don't have to wait for a bus. You don't have to... you can go anywhere you want, anytime you want. Right. Dad, no, I'm alright, like. I was like, we'll see. I said, trust me, once you get behind the wheel and you learn the functionality and how it works, and you realise that it's not as scary, you've got... You'll be fine. I was like, but it's no good Mum learning you to drive, because Mum is the most aggressive person on the planet.
Hey,
and she'll get frustrated when you're doing things wrong. Like, perfect example. This was a teachable moment for Caitlin at the weekend. We went... I obviously had to go and get the car MOT'd, and we went to drop it off, and the guy said, give us half an hour, 40 minutes, and then come back. He's like, but try and be back in half an hour, 40 minutes, because we've got to shoot. I was like, right, no bother, mate. I'll go and draw the money out while I'm out and have a wander about the shops, and then I'll come back. So we drew the money out. We went to Kerry's, Dragonville. And I went in, and I said to Caitlin, obviously, now that we're doing the YouTube thing, I'm decorating the little bedroom out and sorting the little bedroom out as part of like a office sort of thing to work out of, so that I'm not on the main TV in the living room all the time. And we went in and we were having a look about. She wanted to look at the iPhones because she wants an iPhone, and I was like, right, okay, we'll go and have a look at the iPhones. We had a look at the iPhones. Great. Brilliant stuff. Then I said, oh, there's the computer desks over there. Can we go and have a look at the computer desks? Yeah, Dad, let's go and have a look at the computer desks. She got on the computer chairs. She jumps on the chair, starts spinning and that. She's like, oh, this one's comfortable. I was like, check this one. Is this one comfortable? Yeah. I was like, well, Dad has to obviously keep an eye out on, like, certain things, because Dad's not exactly light, and I don't want a chair that isn't going to support my weight for it to go and shoot some sort of crazy pole up my arsehole and cause eruptions. I don't need that in my life. And she's like, what? I was like, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. That's not what Dad needs in his life. And we were having a laugh, and we were having a bit carry on and a bit chat and all of this and that and the other. And great fun. Walked over, started talking to the guy about the tellies. My phone starts ringing. Pulled it out, it said Monkey, which is obviously the nickname I give her. So I'm like, okay, Caitlin, why are you butt dialing me? I'm not butt dialing you. You've got my phone. I don't have your phone, Caitlin. You do? I said, I don't have your phone and I don't have your purse. Oh, Dad, are you kidding? I was like, no.
Watch those.
She's like, you kidding? I was like, no, Caitlin, I don't have your phone, I don't have your purse. Go and check where the iPhones are, and then go and check where the chairs are. She just put them down and buggered off. Like, walked away from them. Purse with 150 quid in, and a relatively decent smartphone. Just lost, gone. So the guy I'm talking to was like, you should ring that number back because somebody's probably picked it up and tried to get in touch. Obviously, I'm named in a phone as Dad, so they've rang Dad. So, rang the number back, and there was an oldish guy that worked at the shop walking up, and I could see him staring and looking, and he's like, you lost person of phone? I said, I haven't, but my daughter has. Like, yeah, it's at the front desk, and at this point, he's answered the phone. He's like, hi, this is the manager of Kerry's. I was like, you alright, mate? I'm just up that aisle, I'm waving at you now. It's my daughter's purse and my daughter's thing. Got them, And I could see on Caitlin's face what she was waiting for. She was waiting for the bollocking. She was waiting for the kickoff.
Wouldn't want to be behind that.
It didn't happen though, because I didn't see the point. Like, what was the logic and the point in me sitting and screaming at her, losing them? She learns nothing from me sitting and screaming, which is our mum's go-to move. Our mum would have gone ballistic.
This story is about a hero.
Proper gone to town on her. And I was like, look at Caitlin here. At the end of the day, right, your heart's bouncing now, isn't it? She's like, yeah. I think you were proper upset and worried that you'd lost your phone, which you used to communicate with your friends, and you've potentially lost all your money, yeah? Yep. I was like, so you're going to pay more attention and actually look after them now? Oh, yeah, I'm not letting them go again. I was like, right. I said, so there's no need for me to stand here and shout and kick off with you. Because it helps nobody, and you learn nothing. I've always treated Caitlin like an adult. Like, from the day she was born. Well, the day I met her, because I didn't meet her the day she was born. But I just treat her like I would anyone else. Like I would treat you, like I would treat my gran, anyone. Any normal person. I don't see the point in sugarcoating stuff. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't swear where your kids are. I couldn't give a flying fuck. Swear exactly where Caitlin is, and I can, honestly, even when I'm not around, and I've tested this theory, I can't pay Caitlin to swear. I've tried. I've offered her money. I've offered her video games. I've offered her Nintendo Switches. I've offered her everything. Like, Caitlin, say shit. Nah. I've getting angry at her and said, if you don't say shit, you're not coming to your dad's anymore. Like, I can't get her to swear. Yet I swear my head off around her. Because she was taught that swearing is for adults. And not something like children should do. It's just common sense stuff. But then it's the sense of pride that you get when you do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I know Caitlin doesn't swear. She doesn't even swear when her parents aren't around. Because she's not known that I've been there. And I've heard her talking with her friends. And I've heard her friends kicking off and swearing and that. And then Caitlin's not been swearing. Remotely.
There's no better way for the waves.
It's just one of those things. It's the sense of pride that you get. Like, there'll be a day, mate, in the future when you've got your kid that they do something or they say something or something happens. Like, you might be sat and it might be like movie night and you might be like saying to Emma or something, what should we watch? And they'll come out with some crazy, like, let's watch this because of this crazy nonsense. Like, this crazy reason that is so poignant and thingy, and you'll just sit there with that sense of pride of like, well, I've gotten them to that level, and then now they're at this level. They're getting themselves to this level. It's just, it's a beautiful thing to behold, it really is. But everyone's got their own style of parenting, mate. Some people like to kick off and shout and slap the kids around, and it works.
That's one way to
So I've never, ever had to raise a hand to Caitlin, not once. Because, oh my god, he's given me some. Oh, fucking hell. It's just one of them things. I have Caitlin's respect, and her mum, she loves her mum to bits. She obviously lives with her mum. She loves her mum to bits. But her mum doesn't have the same respect that I get. And that's just the way that it is. That's just facts. And it's because I treat Caitlin like an adult.
However, there's no...
No, not at all, mate. Like I say, I haven't seen Emma in... To be honest with you, I don't think I've seen Emma since she moved out of the house next door to me. And I think Jack's lived there 6 or 7 years. And it was empty a year or two. So you're talking the better part of... To be honest with you, I might not have seen Emma in 10 years. Could even be longer than that.
So, You
Because
remember the automaton's
I don't think
feature. That's
Emma lived next door when I had the Ben. I think Emma's dad lived next door for a little while. And then he moved up to the top end. But no, mate, I'm just trying to put your mind at ease that, yes, it's daunting. It's scary, of course it is. That you've got a whole human being and a whole little person that is literally reliant on you. But believe me, it's not as bad as you think, and the benefits far outweigh the negatives. They really do. And I don't know where you get this deluded idea that you'd not make a good parent, because you clearly would. As far as I'm concerned, to make a good parent, all you have to be is sensible, which you are. Fun, which you are. And responsible, which, again, you are. And that's all you need. If you're a responsible person, if you're fun, and fun is a broad term, like, because obviously fun is different for everyone, but it's all it takes. And obviously you've got to also understand, you're not going to be a single parent. You're not going to be like a solo parent. There's two of you. You'll be sharing this responsibility, which, believe me, is a good thing, because I didn't get that option. Not that I'm saying I would have, because I don't think I actually would have now. I'm quite happy. Yeah, but the difference there, you see, is, one, you weren't her parent. Oh, I'm not going to make that. Bollocks. Yeah, you weren't her parent. So, there's a whole different dynamic going on there. From both sides of the coin as well, because obviously you won't have treated her like a child of yours. I don't know if I'm supposed to be fighting this or not. Apparently I am. And they don't treat you like a parent. Do you know what I mean? So it's a whole different kettle of fish. Will I get anything for destroying me? I don't think I do. Like I say, I think you'll change your tone and you'll change your mind once it happens. Because I love Robert to bits. Obviously, me and Robert have been very good friends for a long time. We don't see each other anywhere near as much as we should these days. Like, nowhere fucking near. To be honest with you, I'm not even scared to say that I am the bad friend in this situation. Because I have loads of free time and he has barely any, but I know what days he's off. Yeah, we're not getting younger, mate.
Under your own power.
Like I say, closer to 40 than we are to 30.